The average savings rate in America? Shockingly low. Honestly, it's kind of terrifying, way lower than most people even realize. And the reasons for it go way beyond the obvious. You might scrape together a bit of extra cash one month, only to have a random bill appear out of nowhere like a jump scare. For a lot of people, saving doesn't feel like a choice at all, it feels like trying to stand your ground against a tidal wave of expenses. Point 1. The numbers. Recent government data shows the typical American is saving just around 4.5% of their after-tax income. And here's the kicker, that number includes everything. Retirement contributions, money set aside in savings or investment accounts, and even paying down debt. When you realize how many financial goals that tiny slice is supposed to cover, it suddenly looks pretty depressing. Point 2. Breaking it down. Now imagine someone earning $60,000 a year. Saving 4.5% works out to roughly $2,700 annually, or about $225 each month. At first glance, that might sound okay, it's definitely something. But remember that $225 isn't just going into a savings account or a retirement fund. It's being split between emergencies, retirement, and every other goal you can think of. Which means one unexpected expense has the power to wipe out years of effort in the blink of an eye. Point 3. The decline. And to be clear, the goal isn't to shame anyone here. That 4.5% reflects real struggles most people face. The cost of living keeps rising, debt keeps piling on, and financial pressure never seems to let up. But here's the question, why exactly is the savings rate this low? Historically, Americans saved a lot more. In the 1960s and 70s, people tucked away around 10% of their disposable income. Over time, especially after the 1980s, that percentage slipped steadily downward. Now we're sitting below 5%, and a whole mix of factors pushed us here. Point 4. The obvious culprit. The first and most obvious one? Rising living costs. Housing prices continue climbing, healthcare keeps going up, and tuition is practically unaffordable. Each of these bites off a bigger chunk of your paycheck every year. Just as concerning is the rise of easy credit. Think about the last credit card offer you got, it probably dangled 0% interest for a year or a fat cash bonus if you spend enough right away. These incentives are meant to lure people in, get them opening accounts, and rack up balances fast. Before you even know it, you've outspent yourself. Point 5. Car loans trap. Car loans play their own sneaky role too. Getting financing is ridiculously simple. If you've got decent credit, you can stroll into a dealership, sign a couple of papers, and drive off in a car that eats half your monthly paycheck. No down payment, barely any income proof. Dealers want it that way, and salespeople are experts at getting you so hyped that you forget about the math. That's why so many people end up buried under car payments they never fully thought. Point 6. The discipline problem. Then there's the quieter but massive factor, lack of discipline with money. Saving isn't just about what you make or spend, it's about habits, which are hard to maintain. Picture someone grabbing their morning coffee, then impulse buying on Amazon, skipping their budget tracker, and promising themselves they'll start saving next month. Even with good intentions, little slip-ups like that stack up fast, leaving nothing left to save. Add in rising costs and dangerously easy credit, and it's no wonder most people barely save at all. Point 7. Lifestyle inflation. And let's not forget lifestyle inflation, the hamster wheel you don't even notice you're on. Older generations remember life differently, one car per household, one bathroom, kids sharing rooms, meals cooked at home, vacations rare, the same furniture for decades, backyard weddings, and snacks reserved for holidays. Now, as incomes rise, it's easy to fall into constant upgrades. Renovating kitchens every 5 years, eating out constantly, buying the newest gadgets, and chasing vacations that look great on Instagram. There's nothing wrong with enjoying these things when you've already taken care of savings. But the problem is when people prioritize upgrades while their finances are still a mess. That's when savings collapse to zero, or worse, spending goes beyond what's coming in. Point 8. Financial basics missing. A lot of people also don't fully understand financial basics. Things like how much to keep in checking, how much to save, or what to set aside for retirement feel confusing. Many people get paid, pay bills, and then spend the rest, never realizing that an emergency fund should come first. Plenty swipe credit cards without ever considering how they'll pay them back. Without knowing what healthy money habits even look like, most people just go with whatever feels easiest in the moment. Add the complexity of loans, credit cards, and investments, and it's no wonder so many feel like they're flying blind. Point 9, not just low income. Now, the first reaction is usually to blame low income. And sure, that plays a role, but it's not the whole picture. Even high earners struggle. Bank of America found that 1 in 5 households making over $150,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Big income doesn't automatically fix bad money habits. Large paychecks can vanish just as fast if lifestyle choices, surprise expenses, or poor decisions get in the way. Honestly, it's better to earn less and manage it wisely than to make more and blow it recklessly. Once you start cutting out the fluff, you'll be shocked at how little you really need. Point 10, what really matters. Take this as an example. Someone might think they need the newest phone, subscriptions to every streaming service, and expensive clothes. But eventually, they realize what actually makes them happy is a night with friends, a good book, or a quiet weekend trip. Cutting out the extras doesn't feel like losing, it feels like making room for the things that truly matter. Point 11, the future me trap. One of the sneakiest traps is convincing ourselves future me will handle it. We tell ourselves we'll save more after the next raise, once the car is paid off, or when life slows down. But here's the truth, future me usually ends up with the same bills, same habits, and sometimes even bigger problems. They're not a wiser, more disciplined version of us, they're just us, carrying the same struggles forward. If today's you struggles to save $200 a month, tomorrow's you isn't suddenly going to save $500 just because more time passed. Without a behavior change, more income just leads to more spending. Point 12, breaking it down. That's why breaking savings into smaller, doable amounts helps so much. For example, saving $10,000 in a year sounds impossible to someone who saves nothing. But broken down, it's just $27 a day. That's less than a coffee and a takeout meal. But if we keep putting it off, those daily opportunities vanish. 5 years of delay? That's $50,000 gone, not even counting what that money could have grown into. Point 13, building habits. At the end of the day, saving isn't about waiting for the perfect timing or blaming obstacles. It's about habits. Discipline. Little routines that make saving automatic instead of optional. Say someone sets up an automatic transfer of $100 every payday into savings. At first, it feels like a stretch. But after a few months, it becomes second nature. Suddenly, small emergencies aren't so scary anymore, because there's a cushion there. Point 14, the payoff. Pointing fingers at rising rent, inflation, or pushy advertising won't create stability. But a simple habit, repeated consistently, will. Even just being slightly more intentional can help you save far more than 5% of your income. Over time, small, steady choices are what create real breathing room. Paying attention, being deliberate, and actually setting money aside is what leads to a future where bills don't scare you, surprises don't wreck you, and you actually have the freedom most people only dream about.